Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. We are right at 8 o'clock, so we're just getting things set up here on our end, and we'll be getting started very shortly. In the meantime, we'd love for everybody to introduce themselves in the chat. We've got a lot of people on here tonight, lots of faces showing up on the screens there. Awesome to see all of you, but we'd love for all of you to introduce yourself by typing in the chat a little bit about just say your name, where you're from, and then since tonight is going to be all about gut health, share with us what your favorite Young Living product to support your gut health is, and put that in the chat as a way to introduce yourself as we wait for everybody else to jump in here, and we'll get started in just a minute.
So at our house, we use a lot of Essential Zyme 4. Love that one. And Digize, of course. You know, I know normally Digize, you rub on the belly, or you take it internally with the Vitality Digize, even though Vitality Digize is the same oil as in the other bottle, just different label. In case you run out of your Vitality Digize, good to know. You know what odd fact we found out is once upon a time we let Naomi make up her own blend for the diffuser. And she diffused Digize with Thieves oil, and I believe it was Northern Lights. Surprisingly enough, you put all that together and it was really, really, had a really good aroma.
Not too many things you can combine with Digize and make it smell good.
Yeah. So. All right. So let us, while you guys are being in where you're from and what you use for digestion things, welcome. We are Brian and Jody McKenna, and we are the founders of the Wise House Oils community. We've been using oils for about 17 years now. It started with our firstborn, Asher, and then we just started adding in oils over time. And we've grown to have quite a collection of oils and oil-infused supplements that we love. But one of the biggest things that we love is connecting community together. And that's why we really enjoy hosting these Monday Night Live classes that vary all the way from Young Living products to eliminating toxins, learning how to use makeup, talking about one of Brian's favorite products, CBD, to digestive health like we are tonight, feelings kit, aroma freedom technique, all that kind of stuff. So the classes are just a great way to connect. And, I think that what's the expression that to raise a child, it takes a village, right?
That's right. To learn about oils, it takes a village.
Yep. And so we are, Wise House Oils is that village for you all. So one announcement that we have, actually two announcements that we have is almost a month ago, Fran Chofi spoke, and she shared that when you helped 2 people get started with Young Living, she had some swag for you. And then if you help 4 people get started with Young Living, she had even more swag for you. So Brian's going to put that link in the chat feature. So if you want to learn more about that, we have a little Google form. It does end October 13th. We ran it for a whole month, but there's still time to help people get started with Young Living and getting oil-infused products into their homes. So if you're interested in that, or you want to watch Fran's video, that was amazing and super encouraging, you can click on that link that Brian just posted.
You still have 2 days, and you only have to enroll 2 people. So that's like, not good at math, but I think that's 1 person a day. Right?
And then for watching the video, then we also give you a $10 credit on your account. Okay. And then the other announcements is next week's class is going to be epic because 3 people are joining together to host it because it's our daughter's birthday. And so we asked some epic Wise House Oilers to host it. And so Stacey Hausman Katie Frankie and Stephanie Peltier are going to be doing kind of like an intro class. So I think it's going to be really fun. The three of them just got back from the Silver Trip. So they were out in Utah. And so they traveled together. They're travel buddies now. So we're really excited for you to invite your people who haven't yet gotten started with Young Living for this great intro class.
That's right. All right. So a couple more things, just announcement wise for tonight, with navigating Zoom. Keep up the comments in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of those come through, and that's a lot of fun. So as we transition to our amazing speaker tonight, continue to use the chat to discuss with each other or to ask questions. And then Jody and I will be screening all those, any questions they get asked, and then we'll pitch those to our speaker at the very end, so she doesn't have to keep track of that. So don't hold back though. She may not be watching the chat, but we are. So put your questions in there, and then we'll field those to her at a good breaking point or at the end of her teaching tonight. So definitely make use of that chat. So with that, I get to introduce Rita. This will be the third time in like just a couple of weeks that I've gotten to introduce Rita, because we did a couple of live events together in South Carolina a few weeks ago. So Rita Morrill, she's the Manager of Global Training and Development at Young Living. She lives just like 10 minutes from the Young Living headquarters in the Beehive State. How many of you knew that Utah was called the Beehive State? I love that little known fact. Jody knew it, because when you go there, you do see it. Like, they put it on road signs, and they're very proud of being the Beehive State. So Rita has been married for 5 years. She has a beautiful 3-year-old girl named Madeline, and she is a certified holistic nutritionist. So she really, really, really knows her stuff when it comes to gut health and nutrition and all that. And she is an avid researcher. In fact, she claims that research is the secret to her success with Young Living, as well as her secret weapon that she uses, Idaho blue spruce and Kid Power oil every single day, is like her 2 go-to oils that she uses every day. And then another little known fact about Rita is that she was a spin class instructor for like 7 years, which I think can only mean that she has some dark need to see people suffer. That's the only reason why somebody would spend 7 years as a spin instructor. But she promised not to torture any of you tonight. It's going to be an amazing class. So without any further ado, Rita, the stage is yours.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, I won't be torturing anyone. Luckily, I'm not too close to anyone. I'm just going to be educating, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Like Brian said, just please ask questions. I'll be covering some Young Living supplements, and also just kind of more of the basics of gut health and things that you can do in addition. I think it's important to learn everything that you can do in your life, not just how to fix a problem with a supplement, right? How to take care of your stress levels, nutrition. There's so many different things we can do. So welcome. And yeah, let me know in the chat where you're visiting from or where you're from. Let's also use an oil. Who has their favorite oil out? I made a roller actually. This one has Palo Santo in it. It has a little bit of peppermint. So I love using oils before I teach. So yeah, what are you guys using? What oils have you been using today? Let me know in the chat. I love kind of setting the mood. So I have a presentation for you. I'm going to share my slides. So I will need some cues to make sure you guys can see this. And I'm hoping I don't get messages come through. I keep getting messages about holiday stuff, guys. Holiday launch is coming. So I'm like, hopefully nothing secret comes up. People are working nonstop. So can you see my slides okay? Okay, awesome. So yes, and yeah, let me know in the chat if you are registered already. Our holiday launch is on the 23rd. We are launching new products. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. So I'm already in the holiday spirit. I've been in the holiday spirit for a while now. But let's jump in. You are here to learn about gut health. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about because it's something that affects basically everything. It's really important that you understand what's going on as far as gut health, and then you can see, are there any other issues in my body or maybe even my mind that could be related to gut health. It's a fascinating subject. So let's talk about the basics. So about 70% of your immune system is localized in the gut. That's one of the first things I like to talk about, because I feel like there are so many people, especially right now, focusing on their immune system. How many of you are trying to do things to keep your family healthy? I think the majority of us are trying to do anything to make sure we're on top of it. I know there's been things going around here. A lot of people have been sick. And so look at that. I mean, 70% of your immune system is localized in the gut. So what that means is if your gut is not healthy, then you're more susceptible to getting sick because your gastrointestinal tract acts as a line of defense. Also, the gut is referred to as the second brain. Now, the reason why is because there's this axis, we call it the gut-brain axis. And so that's why there's that connection between that emotional health and then the actual physical gut health. So I like referring to those sayings when you have butterflies in your stomach, or if you've ever felt sick to your stomach. Isn't that weird that you have an emotion, but then you have a physical like manifestation of something? Can you attest to that? I'm trying to think of another example. I think that's the biggest one is like when people get nervous, like on stage or public speaking, that's like a big one. Or something just doesn't sit right with you emotionally, and then you feel like a stomach issue. So kind of just to show you that connection between the gut and the brain. Also, I wanted to point out about 90% of your body's serotonin is made in the gut. Now, serotonin is known as the happy hormone. So you can see why if your gut's not functioning and not producing that serotonin, that can affect your mood. Isn't that incredible? Because usually when you think of mood, I don't think a lot of people think, oh, that means I need to do something to help my gut. But it can affect you on that level because of the neurotransmitters created there. So I love bringing that up. It's a big one. So just to give you digestion at a glance, I kind of just simplify this so you can understand what's going on. So the first step, we're breaking down our food. So mechanically, you're chewing, but then chemically different things are happening. So saliva is produced, you're breaking down the food, you have enzymes, you have different acids naturally are going to help break down the food. Then you have assimilation. That's going to be the distribution of nutrients throughout the body. So we want to make sure that this is functioning so that you're getting the nutrients and you can stay healthy that way. And then we have cleansing and elimination. So you're going to eliminate any excess waste that's going to really clean and protect the body. And what happens when that's not functioning, then you can have a toxic buildup because you're not eliminating the things that you don't need. So really important that everything here is functioning. Again, I love that little comment I put, the healthy digestive system allows for optimal nutrient absorption and prevention of toxic buildup. Those are the two things you really want to focus on here. Okay, so how do you know if you have an unhealthy gut? I mean, everyone is so different, and sometimes you see a couple of issues in your body, so you're not quite sure where it's coming from. I obviously recommend going to a physician or getting blood work done. That's a really good way. But just some easy signs to look at for you to think, maybe I do need to do something with my nutrition, my stress, or take a supplement. These are some things that can happen. So you can have digestive discomfort, bloating, gas, constipation, or a few of the signs. Food allergies or sensitivities, actually. Fatigue, mood and mental health issues, skin issues, and bad breath. So those are just a few things that we see. It's crazy. For me, I feel like one thing I've noticed is like skin issues for me. I can tell like if I haven't been eating properly. And then for me, I think, okay, I'm not absorbing nutrients properly. Things are off, then I will see skin issues. That's actually one way my body manifests it. So let me know if you've experienced that before, if you felt like when your nutrition's not on point and you're not taking care of yourself, that you see any of these things. I think it's important to recognize those signs, and everyone is so different. So we're going to talk about things that you can do to have a healthy gut. Okay, and people are surprised. They're like, stress, why are you starting with stress? This is so important. There have been many studies that show that when you have elevated levels of stress, and especially chronic levels of stress, when it's prolonged, then you can see some serious issues. I was seeing a study that stressful life events, they can actually make the symptoms worse. Symptoms like irritable bowel syndrome or GERD or ulcer disease, it can be worse when you have stress in your life. So that could be anything between work, family stress, anything emotional that can make your symptoms worse. So, and I've actually seen, I had a friend that with elevated stress, she would see things like ulcers pop up. So again, everyone's different, but the reason why I bring up stress is that your body has a very hard time differentiating between what's an actual stressful situation, like when a tiger is chasing you, your body goes into that fight or flight mode. So your body responds to protect itself, right? But something like maybe you're grieving, or maybe like for me, sometimes I'll deal with something at work that's stressful, or something, my family life is stressful. Your body might react the same way, and it's not an actual life threatening situation, if that makes sense. So I'm perceiving something as stressful, and my body is like, oh no, she's in danger. And so we're going to start that fight or flight. So we're going to have the blood pressure can increase, the heart rate increases, and we can have different symptoms pop up. So I want to ask you, how do you manage your stress? Let me know in the chat. We have amazing oils, which I think for me, that's one of the most simple things that has been a tool in my life, is using oils throughout the day. How many of you are using oils, especially when you have moments of stress? I hope everyone is doing that. And if you're new to Young Living and joining us tonight, I highly recommend choosing something simple, like even lavender, has a really relaxing aroma, to support you in those times. So I want to hear in the chat if you are using that. So I hate it when tigers chase me. Me too. But yeah, let's see. Ooh, Christmas spirit. I missed that one earlier. Okay, Caitlin mentioned grounding regularly with meditation. That's amazing. Adele's using Copaiba. There's so many different things. One of the biggest, easiest things you can do is deep breathing exercises and using oils with that. So one thing you can do, and I'll show you right now. Let me just use my roller to show you. The one thing you can do to lower that stress is you can apply it like this, or you can drop it in the palms of your hands. I'll put a little in the palms, rub it. And then what we call a sentent. I know a lot of you are already familiar with this. Breathe in. You can do like an inhale of 4 and hold at the top. And then you exhale for 4. That's an easy one. I also do different things like visualization. So you can do a variety of things, but the key here is deep breathing. That's going to help you get that heart rate down. It's going to get you the opposite of that fight or flight. You're going to get into the parasympathetic nervous system. You're going to activate that with deep breathing. I know it seems silly. If you've ever had like an Apple Watch and it tells you to stop and breathe, I can't tell you how many times when I had one, I'd be like, I don't have a full minute to breathe right now. I'm in the middle of something, but this is important. So I want you to think about that. Think about the simple things you're doing to manage your stress, because this affects gut health. That's why I'm connecting that all together. I love seeing some of these other oils. Release. Ooh, I love that one. I think I have that. Yep, I have that right here. I use that one a lot. Peace and calming, vetiver. That's great. Love it. Okay, moving on. So that's a really, really important one. And again, you don't want symptoms to be worse. So if you're already experiencing symptoms, this is not something that you want to worsen. And then of course, nutrition. So I'm a holistic nutritionist, so I can't escape any of these concepts without talking about just some of the basics with nutrition. Best things you can do is limit sugar and processed foods. So, and then of course, digestive enzymes, and we'll talk about one of my favorites. So in the Western diet, I wrote this down because I thought it was really, really important. So they're seeing that sugars, especially like white sugar and certain unhealthy fats, they're actually increasing gut permeability. So if you've ever heard of leaky gut syndrome, has anyone heard of that? I know I can't see all of you. So you want to be really careful with that, because as you have that permeability and letting things pass through, that's when the body starts to have problems. So you want to have a strong mucosal lining, and they're seeing that sugars, some processed foods, you think about things like white bread and anything that's very refined where they're stripping out the nutrients, or you see a lot of like snacks with tons of ingredients on them that you can't even pronounce. They're finding that those are the ones that are affecting that leaky gut syndrome, or helping it escalate. So you want to make sure you're limiting this as much as possible. We'll also talk about some probiotics and how that plays into it, but sugar is definitely a culprit here when it comes to things like leaky gut syndrome and your intestinal walls. And then one of my biggest tips is incorporate fiber and probiotics we're going to talk about, and digestive enzymes. So really, we have some great supplements that can support you. So if you feel like you don't know where to start, we're going to talk about some. Still on the nutrition topic, I wanted to bring this up. I love sharing this because there are some foods that you can also incorporate in your diet that help with your digestive system. So I put a few examples of what we call bitters. So bitters actually stimulate digestive function in the body, which is really cool. So these are some things that you can utilize that help with the natural systems that your body already has. So it helps with things like enzyme production and excretion, stomach and acid production, and turning on the digestive tract, and then bile production. Those are just a few things that these bitters do. So you have anything that's sour, pungent, fermented foods like sauerkraut. I'm trying to think of like orange peel is a good one on there. Then you also see some other herbs that I put like dandelion, burdock, turmeric we'll talk about, ginger. So there's quite a bit. And there's also some relaxing bitters that they'll call like lemon balm is one, chamomile. But I just thought that was interesting because some people don't know that there's other foods that help you with your digestive processes. And then I also put down some gut healing herbs. So I love this. If you like tea, you'll find a lot of these ingredients in teas. And I wanted to talk about demulcents. So this is what we call slimers. And basically what happens is that when they come into contact with the body or with water specifically, they're going to thicken, almost like a mucus. And so what that's going to do is it's going to create a coating in your body. So I love some of these. Some of these are pretty easy to find in tea, something like licorice root or aloe gel. You'll see really popular ones in different teas, or if you go to a natural food store, you might find that. You can even get some of these loose and infuse your water and do different things. But these are some great ones if you're trying to do it more in a natural way, or go to a naturopath. These are some of the herbs that they'll recommend. So I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to that, and I love bringing up herbs. So that's why I do that. Chelsea asked, how do you incorporate orange peel? So I would just infuse like a tear of water even. You could even like maybe use some zest would be a really good way to do it. You can do something overnight where you're infusing it, infusing something like water or tea overnight, or use it when you're cooking. It's a really, really great way. So I covered everything there. Oh, and I did write down also a vinegar. If you wanted to do like a homemade vinegar, you can incorporate something like that too. Okay, we're moving on to our supplements. Now, Life9 is one of the ones I recommend. This is our probiotic. Let me know in the chat if you already use Life9. So Life9, this is so great because Life9 provides amazing bacteria. So your probiotics are bacteria, what we call good bacteria in your body. And you want to have a good balance. You want to have that good bacteria because we have what we call our microbiome. And so this is going to be very beneficial because the Life9 is going to help you promote that. They also find that it can help, especially with anything digestive. This is something where we don't really advertise it as helping any digestive problems, but this is something that you can start with that a lot of people find after they use it for a long time, they're a little more balanced. So I love using this. You'll use it at night. I use it after dinner. So most people will use it at nighttime, but you simply take one capsule and this is going to be one of the best things you can do. Now, I did want to mention, so probiotics feed off of prebiotics and some fiber. So your Ningxia Red is actually what we would call a prebiotic. So that's a really good preliminary supplement to use because it's going to help feed the good bacteria in your body. And again, you do want to have that good bacteria. So it's going to help with digestion, support your gut health, and really your overall wellness. This is one of the best products to take. And then if you do have kiddos, or if you don't and you just like to take it a different way, I love Mighty Pro. Mighty Pro is our kids probiotic. So I'll take this, especially when I'm traveling. They look like a pixie stick. And so kids think it's candy and they're probiotic. So it's a mix of prebiotic and probiotic. It's wolfberry punch flavor. Has anyone tried Mighty Pro with their family? I love it. Yeah, Jody is just hollering. Oh, I love that. Oh, and I forgot this slide just to show you guys. This is like a fun one at a glance to show you. So these are some of the things that you can share for any of my brand partners out there that want some like really good, fast things to share. These are some things that you can share about Life9. So it has 17 billion live cultures and does some of the things that we've talked about already. Perfect. Adele says they use Mighty Pro instead of Life9. Awesome. Yeah, and just the difference. So Mighty Pro has less of the bacteria strains, so it's still effective. It's just this one has more live cultures. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is one of my favorite products to talk about. This is a newer product, and ICP Daily. I love this one because our original ICP, most people recognize that as a more intense product, more of a cleansing product. Has anyone used our original ICP? I want to hear that. And then have you tried ICP Daily? So ICP Daily, like I said, it's in the name. Daily means it's going to be more of a gentle use. So this actually has prebiotics and fiber, and it's using plant-based ingredients. So on average, I was looking into our numbers for the US. We take about 10 to 15 grams of fiber daily. Now the recommended amount is 25 to 40 grams daily. So we're missing the mark on that. It does depend on gender and age. There's a few different factors, but generally speaking, we're off about 15 to 20 grams a day. And that's in the US. We're not getting enough fiber. So if you're feeling like that, if you feel like you're either having problems with bowel movements or you're maybe like irregular, or you just don't feel like your meals are giving you an adequate amount of fiber, this is something you need. Alexa's asking about the original ICP. Yes, we still have both, but I take daily. I absolutely love this product. So again, the biggest difference is this was formulated for gentle use. You can even use it with ages 4 and up. That shows you how gentle it is. And I love the flavor as well. This has a really good flavor to it. It's passion fruit. And some of the things that it's going to do, it's going to help with that healthy gut bacteria we talked about. It's going to fuel that bacteria. It's going to support digestive, cardiovascular, and immune systems. And then it's going to aid in the body's natural detoxification system. And those are just a few things. And I wanted to share this graphic with you because this shows you the main differences. So ICP with unflavored, we still paired it with Ningxia Red. It's a kind of that occasional cleanse, and it contained 2 grams of dietary fiber and 1 gram of insoluble. Now look at ICP Daily. We have our passion fruit flavor. It's very soluble in water. You mix it up. I know we had issues with ICP. And then this one actually contains 6 grams of plant-based prebiotics and 5 grams of fiber. So you get more fiber with ICP Daily. Safe for anyone over the age of 4. And then some of the things that we talked about. I love that it's, again, another one for immune health. So you can see I brought that connection in the beginning. As you take care of your gut, you're taking care of your immune system. So I think this graphic is great because it really does show you. And Brian and Jody, if you don't have this for your team, I can get you the graphic. So just in case anyone's asking for that. And then some of the key benefits, again, for brand partners that are wanting to share, these are the ones I would highlight. The fiber amount, and then the mucosal lining. I talked about that with leaky gut syndrome. So this product is going to help with the maintenance of the mucosal lining, which is really important. Helps with the microbiome, and then also regular bowel movements. Very important because, again, in the beginning, we talked about what happens when you're not cleansing everything out. You have the toxic buildup happen. So great product. I'm like, I hope if you haven't tried this that you're ready to try it. Flavors and features, 100% plant-based, no added sugar, non-GMO, gluten-free, no artificial or synthetic ingredients, and then it's vegan and keto friendly. So it's going to really attract a lot of people, I think. So let's see. Okay, that's a good question. Someone asked about what would this help if your bowel movements are too loose? This one I would be careful. Some people have some more serious issues where your doctor is very careful as to how much fiber you're taking or if you're taking any additional supplements. If you're concerned, I would start with like half a scoop. I do find, like, I've been talking to people that are trying it and they're finding that it's pretty gentle. So if you're concerned, I would just do half a scoop or consult with your physician on that. Okay, and then we already covered this, but ICP dailies for the age of 4 and up. Again, even with kids, sometimes I recommend just start them with half a scoop. My daughter's only 3, so I haven't tried this with her. Okay, and then let's talk about some key ingredients before we move on to our next supplements. So first one is agave inulin. So this is a prebiotic fiber, just like we talked about how needs to red kind of acts as your prebiotic. This is another source of your prebiotics. Probiotics feed off of the prebiotics. So we get this from the tequilana plant, and these are from Mexico. So really they've been used historically, traditionally for a natural source of fiber. And that's going to help you feel satiated, feel full. So this is a great ingredient to have. Then we have guar gum. So this is another prebiotic fiber. It's going to help with that slow fermentation and help with that healthy gut bacteria. And then you have some postbiotics. Now, this is one question I've gotten before, like, what are postbiotics? Because I feel like that term isn't used a lot. Basically, I wrote this down to make sure I described it, but it's the metabolites that are produced by the bacteria in your gut, or what we call fermentation leftovers. So it's just like the last step, as far as you have the pre, the pro, and then the post kind of feed off of the pro. So you do want healthy postbiotics. And then if you even research what a postbiotic is, there's been a lot of studies on that. So I encourage you to look that up too. Then we have prickly pear cactus. So these come from the Mediterranean Sea. They have those flat stems that you can see there. And these are going to help support the maintenance of the mucosal lining, which I talked about earlier. I've talked about it quite a few times. You do want a strong mucosal lining. So this is, again, is a very preventative ingredient. I love that we're so particular with what ingredients. We're not just saying, here's some fiber, like here's some fruit. We're looking at what has been studied, what plants are going to help you the most. I love that. Let me see if there's anything else I missed on prickly pear. One thing I did write down about mucosal lining. So with the increased permeability, one thing that we do see is inflammation. And when you start seeing inflammation in the body, you see a lot of different issues. So another reason to take care of the mucosal lining is to prevent inflammation. And then one thing that we preserved from the original ICP is this essential oil blend. So this was created by D. Gary Young, our founder. You have fennel, anise, tarragon, ginger, lemongrass, and rosemary. Now, these have been studied for digestive support. So many of you have seen these actually in our Dietize Vitality, which I wanted to bring up as one of the best oils for digestive use. So you can see the overlap. There's a reason why this oil blend is part of the product, because these have been studied for digestive support. Okay, and then how to use. So honestly, like, I've taken this different times during the day. One recommended way to use it is take it in the morning, 30 minutes before meals on an empty stomach. You just mix 1 scoop. I have it right here. This is the container if you haven't seen it. You mix 1 scoop in 8 ounces of water. And I would do room temperature because it's pretty seamless, but I do notice if my water's too cold, it will clump a little bit. So I would just do room temperature, mix it up. And then if you find that it's too like warm for you, then add ice after. But it's really does taste delicious. And one good thing about taking it before the meal is that fiber helps you feel satiated. So if you're trying to monitor your blood sugar levels and help you feel full, then take this before breakfast. That's a great way to take it. Okay, and then just some complementary products. We actually have an entire kit that you can get with a bunch of supporting ones. You have ICP Daily, Ningxia Red, Essential Zymes 4, Life 9, and Peppermint Vitality that come in a kit all ready to go. It should still be live. That's just a really great option if you're like, let's just bundle it all together. This is something you can do. Let's see if I missed any other questions. Kathy asked about ICP being made with passion fruit. I do not believe that's a new flavor for this product. And then someone asked about, would this be good for someone who had a lot of their large colon removed? I would still have them consult with their physician. However, it's fiber and it's very gentle. So again, maybe starting them with half a scoop. I still think everyone still needs fiber at the end of the day. So, and most people are not getting it. Awesome. Connie has Ningxia Red on its way. I love it. Okay. Who is learning something so far? Hopefully you're learning something about gut health. Okay. Oh, we had one more kit I didn't cover. So this is another option, our Life Essentials kit too. So this one has ICP Daily, Comfort Tone, Essential Zyme, which is a little different than Essential Zymes 4. Essential Zyme, that one's more people will use it long term. And then we have Diadrized Vitality. All right, now we're talking about one of my favorite products. This one, I know it's been out of stock, but it is, if you haven't tried this, you need to just hang tight because this is amazing. Let me know if you've tried golden turmeric already. It is so good. We're going to talk about how this is applicable to gut health. So why golden turmeric? So the biggest thing that makes this different, ours is 24 times more bioavailable than other standard turmerics on the market. And we'll talk a little bit more about the bioavailability. And also a really fun thing is that this is has some inspiration from Ayurveda. Ayurveda is this holistic practice that's, you'll find this mostly in India is where it's practiced, but basically you're trying to create balance in the body. And so in Ayurveda, they use a lot of different herbs, and turmeric is one of the most, the staple, I guess, for Ayurveda. So we did use this as inspiration too. Julia wants to try it. Caitlin has tried it. Oh my gosh, okay, you've used it through some surgeries. That's awesome. It's incredible. Let's talk about why. So here are some of the benefits. So this was formulated again because of the bioavailability and the main things it's going to do for your body. So inflammation, huge. Immune response, helps with joint health and mobility and recovery after physical exertion. Now, when you look at that, I mean, most people are needing support in one of those areas, right? Immune response, I know we're working on that. Inflammation, you want the inflammation to be reduced in your body. Joint health, think about anyone in your life that would need this product to support them. Then this product contains 300 milligrams of curcuminoids, which are the naturally occurring actives. So this color is really bright yellow. I'll show you some images, and you get that from the curcumin, and the curcuminoids are what we call those active compounds. So those are the things that are giving you the properties. And then this, like right here, we're tying this into gut health because this contains prebiotics that really support that gut-brain axis that we talked about. So the emotional connection to your gut. Okay, I love sharing this picture. So this is what it looks like before you stir. So do you see these gold beads? That's really important because you're going to see that no one is stirring that glass of water. Okay, and if you have this at home, I want you to really, before you stir, watch those gold beads fall. And that's going to show you how bioavailable this is because you don't even need to stir it and it's mixing into the water. That's why this product is so unique. So the molecules are reduced to a very small particle size. And then It has this colloidal matrix, as we call it. It's a plant-based matrix, making it so that the beads can dissolve into the water. So the one thing on here you'll read is that curcumin does not actually dissolve well in water. And that's a problem. And you'll see other turmeric products on the market. They might claim to be very effective, but when you put it in the water, you're going to see that a lot of them sit on top of the water. Now your body is made up of a lot of water. So think about that. Think about if that powder is not mixing, what's going to happen in your body? You might not be absorbing it as well. Does that make sense? I hope so, because that's one of the key things you'll want to share. If someone asks you, well, what makes this different? You know, and you can even demo it. You can show them your water and show them the beads and say, look at how this is dissolving. It's really great technology. Trying to see if I missed any of the fun in the chat here. Okay. And then we already talked about the 300 milligrams, but really interesting that when they looked at different brands in the market, you would need 1,926 milligrams of turmeric to see the same benefits. That is a big, big gap. So I love that. I highly recommend, again, if you already have this product, before you drink it next time, watch the beads, and that's going to give you that visual reminder of what it's doing to your body. Let's talk about flavors. Okay, so this is a natural mango flavor, and I personally love it. You do get some spice from it. Turmeric, you know, is a little bit, has that spice, natural spice to it, but it has a fruity flavor. Mango is the national fruit of India, which is kind of fun, tying it back to Ayurveda and that inspiration. We don't use milk or soy, no artificial flavors or colors, and it's vegan friendly. So I love that you can feel good about it, and you can recommend this to many people because you don't have to worry about a lot of the food sensitivities. So it's really, really great. Let me know if you've tried it. Let's see. Brian and Jody were talking about using it with milk. So yes, I love that you brought that up. So in Ayurveda that I mentioned, that holistic practice, one of the things that's very popular is golden milk, and it's very traditional. And so they'll mix turmeric with milk, and it's very soothing. And so one thing you can do is make your own golden milk at home. So you can mix it with your favorite type of milk. It can be oat milk, almond milk, coconut milk, whatever you'd like. Okay, and then who is golden milk turmeric for? This is for 15 and up. So again, just consult with your physician if you're concerned. But really, anyone that's needing recovery, we talked about after physical exertion. So we recommend this at night, especially if think about anyone that's exerted a lot or exercised a lot. This is something you can use at night to recover. This is a great way to take it. And let's talk about the key ingredients. So we talked a little bit about like the curcumin in there. You have turmeric root, you have boswellia resin extract, you have ginger, mango flavor, rose, and lime vitality. So love it. And we're very intentional with where we get our ingredients. So everything is sustainable. And I just love how much we are using clean ingredients. So really, really great that you can share that too. Okay, how to use. We already talked about golden milk, that's kind of on here as far as using milk with it. Easiest way to take it is with water. You can also do Ningxia Red. You can do it with juice. But did anyone watch a convention this year? We did a few shots on the morning show. And so one of my favorite ways to take it, I was with our research and development team in the lab, and we were trying all sorts of things. We tried it with cardamom vitality, and that was amazing. If you like a little bit of that spice, cardamom is great, and it has some other great benefits for the digestive system. So if you don't have cardamom vitality, add that to your order, and it's so amazing. So that's one of my favorite ways to take it. I also have tried it with Ningxia Red. I personally just most of the time take it with water. And then another great way, especially as the months are getting colder, try our spiced turmeric vitality tea, which you can actually get for free this month when you place a 400 PB order. It's one of our gifts with purchase this month. So if you hit that, you get it for free. And I would highly recommend mixing it in too. Perfect. Monica loves it with water and ice. Love that. It really has a great flavor to it. And then these are some of our complementary products. So Ningxia Red, cardamom, vitality, Agilies, because we talked about joint health. This product is great for that. And MindWise is another one. Do we have questions about turmeric? It really is incredible. So I hope if you haven't tried it yet that you'll give it a shot. Okay, and then there's some pricing just in case you wanted to know. And yeah, stay tuned. I know it's so hard because I'm like, how do we get more faster? Because it's so great. Someone came up to me and they told me that I was responsible for it being sold out because I was doing all the trainings for it. But I take none of the blames. And then we're wrapping up here, but one of the supplements I wanted to highlight is Essential Zymes 4. How many of you tried Essential Zymes 4? Let me know in the chat. I'm like, you can unmute yourself too if you want. I'm like, I'm the only one talking here. So this product is wonderful. Now, I talked a little bit earlier about enzymes and that being an addition to your nutrition, but this is going to help you break down fats, carbs, proteins, fiber. So this is something, and I take this whenever I'm traveling. This is going to help aid digestion, and it has some essential oils in here. So I love taking this when I travel, when I don't know how the food is being prepared, and I just feel like I might need that extra support, and those oils that are used here, that's when I make sure to take this. So this is one of my go-to supplements. Caitlin, Monica said, yes, they're taking it. And I'm going to show you what the capsules look like. But first, these are some of the benefits. I already talked about breaking down those macronutrients. And then we utilize what we call a dual targeted time release technology. And I'm going to show you the capsules so you kind of know how they work. I'll just stop sharing my screen and then I'll talk about the essential oils too. Let me stop sharing so I could show you. Can you guys see me? Hopefully you can find me. There's so many people on here. Let me see here. You see me okay? Yeah. Okay. So these are the capsules. So you see this yellow one. Sorry, maybe you can see that. Yellow is right here on the bottom. And then there's more like a white, I would say it's like a off-white. So these are released at different times in the body. So they're animal and plant-based enzymes. And so they're released at different times. So the yellow one, the one right here, that's one's going to be your immediate release capsule. So when it enters the stomach, it's immediate. It goes where that pH is a little more acidic and it's more of the plant-based absorption. So it really helps with those plants you're eating. And then within 20 minutes, it's going to disintegrate. The white colored one, this one is more of that slow delayed release capsule. So this goes into the lower intestine. The environment there is a little more alkaline. So the pH is anywhere between 7.0 and an 8.5 if you're familiar. The acidic one is more between like a 4.0 and a 6 or 6.5. So this one's really great for the animal enzyme absorption. And this one disintegrates after about, I believe it's 2 hours. So 20 minutes versus about 2 hours. So really cool that you have two capsules that are released at different times. They're really going to help you break down the food. And then the essential oils in here are ginger, fennel, tarragon, rosemary, and anise. And again, you can see we saw some overlap with Diagize and with ICP Daily. So we have, again, ginger, we've seen in some of these products, anise is in these, tarragon, these have been studied for digestive health. So love this product. Let me make sure. I did write down, if you've heard of that word enzymes, it really acts as a catalyst. So if that's an easy way to remember it, think of that being a catalyst for digestion to break down the food and really facilitate the processes there. So I love that. Speaking of Diagize, I know I mentioned this a couple of times, but this is in the premium starter kit. If you are new and you are interested in starting using some of our best oils, this is one of our top oils. A lot of people do not like the aroma. It's very earthy, but people swear by this because of how effective it is. So it's great for digestive support. You can take this in a capsule. For me, I prefer a capsule rather than like on my tongue. So you can do that. Or if you're doing any like herbal teas, you can just add a drop that way. There's some different things you can do. A lot of times I'll also just put this with some carrier oil like on my abdomen, and it's so great. It has tarragon, ginger, peppermint. You'll feel like a little bit of the tingling from the menthol. You get anise, lemongrass, fennel. Those are some of the oils. And then my other recommendation, other than these amazing supplements, I love peppermint vitality. Peppermint has been used for years and years and years for help with digestive discomfort. So this one also comes in the premium starter kit, but these are some really easy ones that if you're not quite ready to jump into a supplement and you want to just start with an oil, these are the two that I would recommend to start with. So, ooh, I love that. Caitlin mentioned if Diagize is strong, that Tummy Gize is a good option. Tummy Gize has spearmint. Spearmint's a little sweeter, like helps with the sweetness. My daughter still has a hard time sometimes with it, but I like the smell better because you get a little sweetness to it. So it does have some similar herbs like Diagize, but it's sweeter. So, and we have a roll on for that too. If you are wanting something, I keep a Tummy Gize roller in my car because just in case my daughter needs that support when you're on the road, a lot of times kids don't do well in the car. So I keep a roller, Tummy Gize roller in my car. Okay. Well, those are all the supplements I wanted to cover. I wanted to cover nutrition and stress. I think I wrapped it all up here. So if anyone else has some questions, we can do that. Brian and Jody, if there's anything else that you wanted me to cover, I'm still happy to do that. Hope had to leave.
All right. That was awesome. Great content. And if everybody was probably furiously taking notes, but rest assured, we are recording this and we'll be posting this to YouTube for all of you to get the link, and so you can rewatch this. Or if you like love this and you want to send it to other people who you think need this also, then you can share that link with them. This is a great tool to share with people.
Surprise, Rita.
No one said I was going to be on YouTube today.
Oh yeah, you're going to be a celebrity by tomorrow. Not that you're not already a celebrity, but we do have some questions though that came up here and there throughout the chat. Some that got kind of answered in the discussion, but maybe get you to weigh in. The first one was about Copaiba for stress. So tell us more about how you would use Copaiba for that stress reduction that you talked about at the beginning.
So one way Copaiba is used, you can just diffuse it. I like actually diffusing it with lavender in conjunction. So at bedtime, that's a really good, I like it because I've ever since, I don't even remember, but I can remember being younger and not loving the scent of lavender. I don't know, people call me crazy, but just lavender alone, I was just never a big fan. So when you pair it with like the woodsy, you still get that relaxing aroma, but it balances it a little bit more. Copaiba has a very nice, sweet, woodsy aroma. It's beautiful. So that's one way I would use it. The other way is you can use it on muscles. So you can use it with like V6 or coconut oil and use it in a massage. That's a really easy way. Maybe do like a little bedtime massage, and recruit someone to massage you. I don't know, but Copaiba is really great to apply topically because you can enjoy the aroma, but then your muscles are benefiting too.
That is one that aroma wise is like, I feel like it is the most mild of all the oils. So it's an easy one. It
is mild. I love it.
Okay. So talk to us about the bitters. Can you use orange vitality instead of the orange peel? Is there something special about the orange peels that you really need for the benefits of them as a bitter?
I mean, I still think you're going to get benefits from either, but I do like having like your body break down an actual peel. So I recommend that. But a lot of times you'll see there's actually digestive bitter tinctures. And so a lot of times they'll just infuse it. So I can see where we could use the oils the same way and maybe like infuse something or using it in your water, something simple. I think you're still going to activate the digestive system that way. So I would do a mixture of both if you can.
Fair enough. All right. Moving on to Life 9. You mentioned that you like to take that after dinner and at night. Explain why that is. What's the reasoning for why you would take that after dinner in the evening?
Yes, and I spoke to our R&D team, just trying to really understand and get more of the reasoning why. And I feel like it's because your body's already broken down, like your dinner, your food, you've given your body that time, because when you're using it in conjunction, sometimes you're going to miss out on that because your body's breaking down your food. So when you give yourself a little bit of time after, then your body's kind of accessing the probiotic, that bacteria at that time. So I don't think, it's not like you won't get any benefits if you take it like right after, but I do give myself at least an hour or two.
And I also wonder if part of that is, because I've also heard that same thing about taking it in the evening, if it's partly that gives it the longest contact time in your intestinal tract. It's going to take your intestines and digestion slow down at night, and so that's going to give it the maximum of time before it gets flushed through with the next meal. Okay, this isn't really a question, but this was something new to me. Ningxia is a prebiotic. I had heard all kinds of things as prebiotics before, but I hadn't really heard Ningxia Red as a prebiotic. So that's pretty cool. Gonna have to start using that. Somebody asked about ICP. Are both the ICP daily and the regular ICP, are those both made with passion fruit, or is that just
That's a new flavor for ICP daily.
Okay, so not the original ICP. That is not
No.
passion fruit. All right. And then next question was a direct one. So it's a little specific. Somebody's asking about their son who had his gallbladder removed, and as a result of that has chronic diarrhea. Any suggestions that you would have for that?
Ooh. Did she mention a supplement that she was asking about, or just in general?
Just in general, yeah.
If you look at the Mighty Pro claims, that's one of the things it can help with. So I would start with Mighty Pro.
Let's see, more questions coming in the chat. So how about Becky is asking about Life 9 versus Detoxzyme. Explain a little bit of the difference between those two.
So Life 9 is a probiotic, where Detoxzyme is it's like an enzyme and essential oil complex. So it's pretty different. Probiotics, it's actually has to do with your bacteria in the body, like your actual gut microbiome. Detoxzyme is going to help support your digestive system. And I would say it's more of like a quick cleansing product to help you. Like Detoxzyme is not something that you need to do every day, but it does support the normal function of your digestive system. So it's more of in the sense of breaking down foods and helping you cleanse. Where probiotics you just take regularly to help increase that good bacteria count and keep your microbiome balanced. So they are different. And you will take Detoxzyme in between meals. Yeah, I believe it's in between meals. I hope I got that right. Yes. So most people will use that like with a cleansing program, or like just for a short amount of time.
So this next question from Aubrey, I know I can speak from personal experience, but we definitely want your take, because for our 4 kids, actually 3, because we didn't know about peppermint with Asher. I know I used peppermint oil quite a bit when I was breastfeeding, but there is some research out there that peppermint or peppermint oil can decrease milk supply. So she's been a little bit more cautious about that. Do you have any insight into this or suggestions?
I've kind of asked around, because we teach an empowered parent class with using essential oils with kids, and we talk about nursing a little bit. I haven't seen anyone that's like seen their milk supply go down a lot. I do think it would have to do with how much peppermint oil you're using. That's my personal opinion. I think if you were using it excessively, it could, but I don't see, if you took a drop of peppermint after a meal, peppermint vitality, that it would be like, so all of a sudden your body's triggered and something's going to happen to your milk supply. Again, that's my opinion. I think it would have to do with how much you're using and how regular you're using it. I think occasionally would be okay. That's my like mom instinct. So
I know, like I would always up my water intake, and you watch what you eat, what you sleep, because all of that affects your supply.
yes.
Follow-up question on that one. Did you see that? She subbed fennel instead.
Is
there
that
any
what
interactions between
what
fennel
yeah, I was gonna say we
No.
should go back when Haley did the empowered.
Yeah, Haley
Parent,
did the
this-
empowered
that-
parent one
this-
like a month ago for us or something
This
like that.
question did come up, so Aubrey, we'll put the link in there for you to watch the empowered parent video, because I do believe we talked about that.
All right, well, I find that link.
Yes, okay. Next question is, if you take Life 9 at night, and if you take Ninja and look at it as a prebiotic during the day, is it still beneficial, or should you wait to take Ninja at night?
I say take Ningxia like every day. Like that's just that's just like what you need to do, because it's not like if you're taking a probiotic, you have to take Ningxia or it's not going to work. Or vice versa. It's not like if you take just Ningxia and not a probiotic, you're not going to get benefits. That's not how it works. Prebiotics just help because the probiotics need to feed off of something, but you do get some prebiotics in other foods and other fruits. If you're just eating something like fruit, you're getting it too. But I think in conjunction, they work great. So I wouldn't be too worried if like you didn't do one or the other.
I wonder if maybe, and I might have read it wrong too, is because like normally I think most of us probably take Ninja in the morning. Like, well, I'll just sometimes do the morning and the afternoon. But I wonder if really, Lisa, I think that's what you're really saying is, should she then, if she's taking Life 9 at night, should she take her Ninja at night so that they support each other?
I still take my Ningxia during the day. Like I think your system is still going to have that. So I don't necessarily like, there's never been direction saying you need to take a prebiotic before your probiotic. You're naturally going to be eating fruits and different things throughout the day. Those are natural prebiotics. That's why I brought that up about Ningxia, because it does have superfruits in here that act as prebiotics. So I think you're fine to just take it anytime during the day.
All right, I think that's all the questions, and we are about at the end of the hour here. So if you do have questions, we'll try and answer those as a community. So if anybody still has questions, we'll just try and answer those in the chat so we can wrap up for the night here.
And Brian and Jody, I wanted to give something away if you're okay with it.
No, we don't do giveaways. Sorry. I don't think they want giveaways. Do you guys want giveaways? Anybody? Yes. Okay. That would be awesome. That would be great.
Awesome. Well, I was hoping like maybe we do. I'd love to work with you to like check in. But if maybe someone on this call orders one of the products that we talked about, we can mail these 2 oils, the Digest Vitality and Peppermint Vitality. I can send them from headquarters. So I'd love to do that. I just need help with the time frame. So you can help me with that. But I would love to do that. Send these
That
two
would be
out.
awesome.
And
Hey,
maybe
why don't we
pick
say
people.
it's early in the month? Why don't we say if you order those this month, then you'll be entered into a drawing and we'll pick one of you that ordered that. We'll pick you and be eligible for that.
Should we do one supplement maybe we talked about, or how do you want to do it?
Your call. You choose.
Yeah, maybe we do, if you do ICP, golden turmeric, essential zymes, and then, or one of these oils. Would that work?
I say you stick with the supplements because they probably don't need a free oil if they order it, right? So
That's true.
order one of those supplements.
Okay, we'll do these 3. And
all right, that sounds good. And we will be sending an email out to everybody that's registered for this. So we'll include the details of that in the email, as well as where you sign up for that. So I'll have a link to a Google form where you can sign up to that when you place your order for that this month. So thank you for
Rita.
offering that. That's awesome.
Yeah, of course.
So just a couple notes to wrap up here. If you got a lot out of this class, like I said earlier, we would love for you to share this with other people who need this information. This is just packed with good information, and the world is needing good information these days, right? Instead of misinformation. So we would love for you guys to help us share this good, solid information about how people can improve their health and wellness. So help us do that by sharing the video when you get that link. We would love to see this get into the hands of more people. And if you are new and have never tried Young Living before, we would also love to help you get started. The best way to do that is to go back to whoever invited you to this class or whoever shared the YouTube link if you're watching this on YouTube, and just ask them for help. Say, hey, I am interested. This was amazing information, and I would love to get started with some of these products. How can I do that? And they will walk you through the whole process of just going to youngliving.com. They'll give you a referral number that you can use to join Young Living and order these products. Super easy, really easy user interface on the website. So you have no problems doing that. Just go back to the person that invited you to the class, and they will help you get started in no time. I think the only other announcement we want to make, we've talked about it a little bit in the comments, that another place that we share information as a team is on our Wise House Oils app. So we use Mighty Networks as the base for the app. So you can download that app or just go to wisehouseoils.com, and that will give you the directions for downloading the app either on your iPhone or Android, or you can do it on your desktop computer too. So it's a great way to get information without having to be on Facebook, because we all know we don't need to be on Facebook any more than we already are, right? So that's a good way to get information, stay informed on when these classes are happening, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. I'm going to post a link to that right now in the info where you can join the app. And then you want to talk about next week again? Oh, you did talk about it.
Yep.
Maybe one more reminder.
Because I got really excited.
That's right.
So next week's class, we have 3 silver leaders who are going to be sharing kind of more like an intro on how to get started with Young Living. Since joining or getting started with Young Living is so easy now, you know, kind of like the lid's been taken off, and it's like get started with exactly the targeted products that you want. You know, we have over 40 videos to help you decide what products, but this next week's class are 3 silver leaders, like I said, Katie, Stephanie, and Stacy, who just got back from the silver retreat. They're fired up, and they're just going to share basically to you and your friends and your family who haven't yet gotten started with Young Living on how to get started. So super excited for you guys to hear that. We're going to be celebrating our daughter's birthday, but they're really where it's at. It's going to be a great class.
So I think that's it for tonight. If you guys could all join me in giving Rita a huge round of applause. This is even a time you can unmute yourself, and let's all give her a big thank you as we sign off here. So Rita, thanks so much for this tonight.
Thank
This is
you.
awesome.
Thank you,
And
thank you,
love
thank
having you a
you.
part of this.
Thank you, Rita.
Have a
Thank you,
great
Rita.
week. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you. And we will see all of you later. Have a great night.